Well, due to illness and work and other things interrupting things, I haven't been able to keep up with the Titans, so I had to kind of binge it a little and catch up here. So I'll have to do several episodes in one video for the review. So this will be a not teen, they're the Titans, obviously. Titans Season 2 so far. So this will concern the episodes Deathstroke, Connor, Bruce Wayne, Jericho, and Atonement. It's the only one that's not a name. And so the even before, like Jericho and Atonement is the one I had to watch back to back in order to catch up on what I'd been unable to get to. And even before that, the curious thing that seemed to be happening here was that every other episode is good, and the other ones aren't. Pretty sorry, and one in particular is really bad. So you would think Deathstroke would be really good because, and quite honestly, quite a few of the scenes involving Deathstroke are. There's quite a few scenes showing him as some of his origin story and all that. It looks pretty cool. And you start thinking, well, there should have been a Deathstroke series. But this was pretty lackluster. As far as the episodes that I consider the sloppy ones of this group here, it's the least sloppy. But it's the confrontation between them. They have to go rescue Jason Todd, who went to go face him himself, and all of that. And it ends in a way you think, oh no, Jason Todd's going to die. But even though I knew at some point Superboy was going to enter the picture, so it was pretty obvious how Jason Todd was not going to meet his end as he went falling from the top of a skyscraper. Of course, Superboy shows up and saves him. And so, but the overall atmosphere of this, there's several players here that just have not improved from the last season, and that includes Dawn, Dove of Hawk and Dove, and Raven herself. Raven would have these moments, but for the most part, she's not that great and gets to the point of being annoying. And so that doesn't change here. And the rest of the story is just sort of this soap opera stuff, and it shows the weakness in these shows is that I don't know why they insist on making them 13 episodes. They should be 8, because that's about the amount of material they have, and to have things drag and whatnot when you could have it tight and quick and probably a little cheaper too, you could deliver a pretty solid and good series on that. But, well, for some reason, it has to be 13, I guess. I don't know why, but that's what they push for. So, Deathstroke wasn't that great. And then it's followed by an episode that, including all of last season, is the absolute best they've done. It's hard to believe it's the same show of how good it is. And as of now granted, there's more shows to go. This group ends with episode 9, so we got a ways to go. Maybe something could shine forth and really be cool. But anyway, this would be the episode Connor, which is all about Superboy, who he is, where he came from, and of course it pretty much sticks to the story about him being the clone of Superman and Lex Luthor. So, yes, my two dads. And, but boy, it's just this really good origin story for him. And of course, it always helps to have the super dog and all of that. And he's sort of, on the run, and the scientist girl, who at first I thought was romantic, but actually it's a mother-son type relationship. So, but it all works out pretty good. For the quality that you can expect from this show so far. This was pretty damn good, and it's almost as if you just scrap everything and do Superboy. So anyway, the placement of time is sort of taken back a bit, so you can see how he escapes, and he's discovering himself and whatnot, and then it ends with him saving Jason Todd's Robin. And then he gets shot by Mercy and Lex Luthor's goons, who shoot him with kryptonite bullets. They figured that takes care of the problem. But no, the Titans will take him in the next episode, and he's sort of gone to the background, which is unfortunate, while he has to recuperate from his ordeal. And it ends up Starfire is able to give him a solar blast boost to re-energize him and save him, because, you know, his Kryptonian DNA needs solar energy and all that. And of course, there's plenty of Superboy nudity, so, well, if you're into that, that's what's there. But overall, yes, just story-wise and the development of it and the performances all worked out very well, and I was quite surprised by it. And so, but it's a lot of this, even with the CW shows, even some of the bad ones, even Supergirl. Once in a while, there's a diamond in the rough, but it's not enough to save the whole thing. So that was a good one, and the best. It was really, really good. And then you go to the next episode. Bruce Wayne is the title. You're like, oh man, Bruce Wayne. Oh yeah. Oh boy. No, it's pretty sorry. It's also a lie. Bruce Wayne never actually appears in the show. It's just an imaginary friend version of Bruce Wayne for Dick Grayson, which you have to conclude that Dick Grayson has severe mental disorders at this point, because he's literally talking out loud to this figment of his imagination, and everybody's looking at him like, what? And that kind of thing, you know. And meanwhile, this is some weird, jokey version of Bruce. It's not Bruce Wayne at all. He ends up dancing with strippers and stuff. It's just ridiculous. It's, what the hell? I guess they thought it was funny. But, oh, God. Oh, it was so bad. And the whole thing, this is a filler episode. Again, is like, make it 8 episodes. You don't have enough material for 13. You just don't. And that's why you end up doing stupid crap like this, to stretch it out. So what's the problem? What's the matter? What's eating away at Dick Grayson? Well, it's his guilt about how he and the original Titans went about getting revenge on Deathstroke for killing Aqualad. And what did they do? Well, from scenes you'd already seen before, they found Jericho, Deathstroke's son, and they decided to sort of infiltrate Deathstroke's family to get at him through his son. And that's what they do. The son, Jericho, of course, is mute. He cannot speak. And he's rather isolated, doesn't have a lot of friends. And then suddenly here's all these people that are interested in, want to be his friends, and he's all happy with this, and he's meeting new people and all that. And he's and it's all an ulterior motive, because they want to get to his father. And the Jericho episode explains this. So after the failure and great letdown of Bruce Wayne, just so, but it leads into the story that really a few minutes tacked on to the Jericho story could have resolved that to where Dick Grayson's got to deal with what they did. And so you get into it, and yes, they do. Like I said, they befriend him and all that. But the problem is, they immediately kill the whole point of what guilt there is. But the episode in and of itself, of introducing Jericho, and he's this innocent, and we learn that he has these powers, and he inherited those from his father, who was an experimental super soldier, basically, and all that. And you get some cool Deathstroke scenes of his early days, and how he's a prisoner of war, and he escapes, and all that. It's all great stuff. Except some of the CGI on the guns looked like he was shooting in the wrong direction. But anyway, so that was not as good as Connor, but it's pretty good. But the problem is halfway through it, they decide to tell Jericho the truth, and they reveal the whole thing, and Jericho pretty much goes with it. And he's really upset that his father had lied to him about who he was and what he had done. And he had his suspicions, and now it's all confirmed. And so there's that confrontation. But they were open about what they were doing. They invited him to be a Titan when they realized he has superpowers and all that stuff. But as a result, he ends up getting killed. Now he's killed while Deathstroke is fighting with Robin. Dick Grayson at the time was still Robin, and they're fighting. And boy, Dick Grayson just gets his ass handed to him. All he had was like a stick and a smoke bomb. Boy, where's the batarang and everything? But anyway, so Deathstroke's about to kill him with the sword, and Jericho runs in to stop him, and of course he gets the sword. So that's what happened. But apparently Robin never told the other Titans exactly how it happened. He led them to believe that he went over there and found Jericho dead. And it's really sloppy how this goes. And this is why they're mad. And so in the next episode, Atonement, where you have to make amends for what you did. So the team breaks up. Now, at the time when Jericho died, they broke up there too, the original team. Even though Donna understood what was going on because she was more out for revenge herself. It's her boyfriend who died. And Deathstroke wipes out all her Amazon friends, which shows you just how powerful this guy is. Donna, who's easily the most powerful member of the team, and he hands her ass too. At the last minute, she gives a signal, and Robin comes, and the other Titans come, and we finally get them in costume, which is another problem with this show. Look, decide if you're a superhero show or not. You got to have them in the costumes. That's just the way it is. And also things that they throw around and don't deal with. Dick Grayson was a police detective at the beginning of the series. They don't follow up on that anymore. Deathstroke just knows he's Dick Grayson. I mean, what's the point of secret identities at this point? It's really, that is extremely sloppy on this series. So yeah, there's a bit of a fight between Wonder Girl and Deathstroke, and it's all great and all, but at the same time, but again, I guess you could forgive it that she doesn't signal her friends in time enough, because she's angry, she's wanting revenge. He's just slaughtered her Amazon sisters there at this, secret embassy they had or whatever it is. And then he lets her live to tell the others, leave my son alone. I don't think he would do that, but nevertheless, that's how it went. And so, they go to the Atonement episode, and Dick Grayson reveals that, what really happened at the end, which isn't much different from what he told them. And then they're all mad and they break up again. And even Donna's mad at him. It's like, Donna, what the hell? You were in on this damn thing. You wanted the revenge. It was your boyfriend who got killed, so it doesn't flow well, and it doesn't make sense. And it really doesn't make sense that they're that mad at Dick Grayson, and the idea that Dick Grayson is going to be this guilty over it. No, he was honest with Jericho. He explained what they did, and Jericho was still accepting of this. And because his father's a monster, and his father, being the monster he is, ended up killing his son. He's always going to blame the Titans for it. He's never going to take responsibility for his own actions. But in the end, this is all Deathstroke's fault. And that's that. And so the Atonement episode doesn't make any sense at all. Dick Grayson goes to apologize to Jericho's mother. And then lo and behold, guess who's there? Yes, it's Deathstroke. And Deathstroke tells him, I've won, I broke up your team, and if you ever get them back together again, I'll kill every last one of them. And I'm sentencing you to loneliness or some crap like that. And so what does Dick Grayson do? He agrees with him, basically. He decides to run away to Greenland and live alone from everybody. That's just so stupid. In the end, he decides not to do that. He instead attacks a police officer to get himself arrested, so he'll be put in prison. Yeah, that's great. Meanwhile, Starfire, they're obviously laying the groundwork for her battle with her evil sister Blackfire, who has taken over the throne in her absence and all this sort of stuff. And this really, really bad CGI where her off again, on again boyfriend from her home planet gets infected by some purple thing that's really bad. But it's some sort of thing that takes over his brain by Blackfire. And she figures it out, blah, blah, blah. And it's setting that up. So that's, it's there. But if they can survive to another season, I'm guessing that's what it'll be. Starfire versus her sister. They'll have to move it to Earth because they really don't have the budget anymore to do any kind of super duper alien space war fight or anything like that. The only saving grace in Atonement is again Superboy. So the only one left at the tower is Beast Boy, who's the only one who has any sense anymore. He's sitting around like, what the hell? What are you breaking up for? So he's left to babysit Superboy, who's back in a coma, apparently. They supposedly cured him, but I guess he still had to sleep it off. I don't know. So he wakes up naked. Ha ha. You can see his butt again. And after several montages of Beast Boy making breakfast, which, yeah, again, another filler episode. Didn't need it. And so they pal around. And then Superboy mistakes police officers arresting a man for thugs hurting a man. So he attacks the police officers, and oh boy, it all blows up, and it's a disaster. But the Beast Boy has no one to refer to because everyone's gone. So it pretty much ends there. Superboy causes a lot of mass destruction as best as they can with their budget, which they can't do a whole lot. But, and Crypto the dog apparently eats a cop. I don't know. It kind of looks like he does. I don't know. And so there they are. Blah, blah, a lot of trouble. But that's about it. So a pretty bad episode. And a lot of things, because they'll name drop things like Lex Luthor and Superman. But with Superboy doing what he's doing, it's going to be kind of hard to explain why doesn't Superman show up, So... I mean, I guess they could throw in a line that he's off planet for some reason, but yeah, that's a bit of a problem. But so there you go. Out of this group, that gives us 2 episodes, one that was really great and one that was just okay, and 3 that are awful. But still, I'm guessing like the Bruce Wayne one was just really stupid, and that's that. So anyway, there you go. Titans so far for season 2. Thank you for watching and listening. Say, why not like and subscribe? And while you're here, check out that link description below. That'll take you to my mini stores that have plenty of goodies for you.